Hello everyone, thank you for watching again. In this video I want to share something about why being in a panic or being in fear is mostly connected to old things that had happened to us. Okay, now in the times that we're living in, where so much is shared on the news that is pushing our fear, we are constantly forced to keep connected to our own truth and to our own self and to our inner wisdom. Because if we rush in this wave of fear, we could get lost in the collective world of fear. So one thing is that we could drive on this fear wave, and the other thing is that always when you feel something that happens, or you're afraid of something that happens, or you sense a heavy energy, or you fear something that would happen to you, that's mostly connected to a fear that you had when you have been a child. And it's happened in your early days. So it could be that things happened in a time that you have been in the womb, in a time from your birth to the first years. That's also a heavy time, because most of all we don't remember what happens. And the difficulty is that we, in this time, we don't have words. If you have been in a hospital, for example, in the time that you have been born until you have been 2 years old, something like that, and you spent a period being in a hospital, you don't have words to express yourself. So the underlying feeling where this fear came from is mostly a feeling without words. So it will flow over you and you don't know what will happen. So when this old fear will come back, you don't know what's happening at this moment, but you recognize it because there aren't words. It's just a feeling. It's just a really big, heavy fear and panic that will come up. And if this happens, if you maybe now in the times with Corona, you feel, okay, this and this is going on, so I'm afraid of dying or something like that. Okay, afraid of dying is in a later state of mind in the childhood, But maybe the adult in you is creating this thought, okay, maybe I'm afraid of dying, and maybe the underlying feeling of the child is just the panic that had been there. So one of the main things that you could do now, if you feel there's a panic, there's a fear coming up, go and take a seat. Go be with yourself. And the first thing that's important is to ask yourself if you want to go through the emotion in your on your own, or if you ask for support. Because one main thing that I also experienced when I grew up and did my challenge of dealing with my youth and my childhood was thinking I have to go through the things in my on my own, and of thinking if I ask for support, I am weak. And this is just a thought. So let it be a thought and ask yourself, am I now willing to go through this? And do I want to go through this alone, or do I ask for support? That's the first thing that you need to do for yourself, because you have the right to be supported. Because when we have been a child, nobody had been there that could supported us in these heavy emotions that we have been through. So give yourself the right to ask for support. So that's the first thing. And if you feel, okay, I feel strong enough, I want to go through this now, and I want to feel and experience what it is. So ask yourself, where did it start? When you feel this emotion, when you feel like, okay, there's a panic coming up, I can breathe easy. So stay with this body effect, that your body is showing you. Stay with it for a while. Keep breathing and stay with it. Don't try to to make it go away. Yeah, don't try to change it. Just be aware of it, and then ask yourself, where did it start? Where was the first time in my life that I experienced this? And maybe you'll get an image, maybe you'll get an emotion, maybe you hear something, maybe you hear like, okay, you've been 2 years old, or maybe you hear it was that what happened to you. So then keep breathing and stay with this child. If you have been in a hospital, for example, you can call up the situation in the hospital. Maybe you as a child see the perspective that you had in the hospital, in this white room with all these crying children next to you. Maybe this experience will come back. Maybe the experience of don't have the feeling of I don't have enough air to breathe, yeah, will come back. And then stay with it, because now you're grown up and you are in the state of being able to be capable of this emotion, yeah, to handle this emotion and to stay with it. As a child, we needed to dissociate from it because it has been too heavy for us to carry. So now you stay with it, you be in this moment, and maybe you can be there with a calm breath, and maybe at one point you notice what you needed. Maybe the baby of the child will say, I needed somebody who hold me. And then you, as a grown up person, enter the picture of what it had been there. Yeah, you enter the picture, and I stay with my picture in the hospital. Yeah, so maybe you enter the room in the hospital and you see the baby and you say, okay, I'm here. And be careful and really tune in what the baby or what the child wanted. Yeah, because sometimes we as a grown up think, okay, everything's good, I take you out of here and we'll leave. Yeah, and maybe the child is in a shocking pose. Yeah, so the child needs to feel a pink on his pink, and that's enough for the beginning, just to feel, okay, somebody's there. And then you can switch back to the position of the child and feel, okay, I feel somebody's there, I'm not alone. And then keep breathing, and maybe while you do this and switch the positions between you and the child, of what the child needed. And every time you ask the child, okay, what do you need now? Okay, I may feel more of your hand. It's okay to feel more of your hand. I need your touch. And maybe you have the intention as a grown up to put all your hands on the child. And the child, when you switch back to the child position, the child says, that's too much. I can't handle this. So go back, slow down, take your time, and give the child the possibility to come out of this shock position where he or she is in. Yeah, and stay with all the emotions that can come up. Maybe you feel a tingling going through your body. That's a trauma release. That could happen. Maybe you feel tears to come up. Maybe you want to scream. Maybe you want to shout. Maybe you want to uh, push in a cushion. I don't know the word yet. Yeah, just follow your impulses and switch back in your position as an adult and your position as a child, and feel what the next step is. And so you can release this child out of its trauma. Okay, so this is a thing where you can go through and where you can feel of how can I heal my traumas in myself. Okay, I hope you yeah, you found it interesting to listen to that, and maybe it does something with you, maybe it works in your system, and maybe you have the feeling you want to try this and want to experience this. This is the main theme. Yeah, you can listen to it 120 times and nothing will change, but if you sit for yourself and go through the experience for yourself, yeah, and feel what will happen, you may experience a shift in you, and you may release some fear and some panic that is coming up in this time, but not connected to now. Okay, so this is it by now. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I like to hear you if you want to. So you can follow me on Facebook, and I have some groups on Facebook if you want to join the groups. I would like to hear you. Bye bye. Have a nice day.